Hello, students. Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, dear students, I really want to thank you for joining us in this episode. And allow me take you through an area that is under etiquette, and that is appropriate choice of register. Appropriate choice of register. So, talking about register, dear students, I know we have got different understanding. So just to define the word, number one, we have got a register that means an official list or record of names. A perfect example is the list of names or record of names that are used or is used in a classroom setup. Now, the other definition of a register, now the one that we are interested in, is that is a variety of language. So it is found in socio-linguistic. So it is a variety of language used for a particular purpose or a particular communication or communicative situation. So a register denotes the choice of language, whether formal or informal. So it is the choosing of appropriate language for the context. And again, there are factors that determine the language that we use. So it is important to select the right language for the right situation. It is important to select the right language for the right situation. So the choice of register is affected by a number of things. First, it is affected by the setting of the speech. It is also affected by the topic of the speech. Sometimes the choice of register is affected by the relationship that exists between the speakers. And lastly, another thing that affects the choice of register is the age. So I want us to discuss all these areas, starting with the first one, that is the setting. So just like we have just learned, or just as we have just learned that setting is one of the things that affect the choice of register. There are words that we use depending on the field. So there are those that we use in the field of medicine. There are words that we use in the field of law. We have words that we use in the market, for example. There are words that we use maybe at school and so on. So those are the different fields that we are now talking about. So the kind of words that we will use in these different fields are not the same. There are also, some words that we are comfortable using at home when talking to family members that we cannot use, maybe at our workstations or workplace. A chemist, for example, will ask for sodium chloride while at the laboratory, but while at home, she will request for salt. So this is because register is affected by the setting, that is where the speaker is at. So if a chemist is at home, he or she will request for salt, but when they are at their workplace or workstation, they will request for a sodium chloride. So setting is simply the place where the context is. So another thing is that at workplace, people tend to use formal language, while informal language at home. So another thing that is affecting the choice of register is the topic. So if, for example, you want to ask for something valuable from a brother, you would say, I was wondering if you could lend me blah, blah, blah. Or maybe if you needed a pen, I was wondering if you could lend me your pen. So this is a formal language, even though it is your family member you are talking to. So when offering your boss tea or coffee, for example, you will still use a formal language. So you can say, would you mind being served tea or coffee? Would you mind being served tea or coffee? And to a friend, you will say tea or coffee, tea or coffee. So looking at that, it is not like you don't respect the friend, but we tend to use informal language a lot when addressing people we know very well. That is, people we are closer to. But you cannot uh, ask your boss, or you cannot offer your boss tea or coffee by simply saying, boss, tea or coffee. That sounds rude. That sounds rude. But when used with friends in an informal setting, then it is just okay. So another thing that affects the choice of register is relationship. So remember that there are words you use when speaking to different people in different situations. So for example, more often than not, an intimate couple will use words like darling, honey, baby, etc. So these are words that cannot be used to address your colleague at work or even your pastor. So there is no way you gonna refer to your pastor as baby, honey, or darling. So it is inappropriate to tell your pastor that, darling, please come and pray for me. That will be inappropriate. But for people who are intimate, or for couples, they are free to use such words. So another thing that affects the choice of register, or the choice of words that we use, dear students, is the age. So there are ways to speak to a child, and there are those of speaking to adults. To a baby, for example, we use words like poo, while to an adult, we use long call. That is when you want to answer calls of nature. So a baby will say, please take me to the toilet, I want to poo. While an adult will say, I want to go for a long call, and so on. Another thing is that we have got different words that are used in different fields. And I have examples of different fields and the words that we are supposed to use under each field. So in the first instance, we have a field of medicine. So some words used in hospitals, clinics, and other health stations include X-ray, syringe, paracetamol, doctor, nurse, mortuary, patient, etc. So we do not expect to hear the word mortuary in a market. We do not expect to hear the word maybe nurse at the airport. We do not expect to hear the word patient, you know, in school. So in school, what we want to hear is, students or learners and so on. Again, that is in police station, some of the words that we are most likely to come across are lock up, cell, bond, freed, charged, etc. Or at the airport, we expect to come across words like aircraft, flight, air hostess, etc., etc. Then again, in the field of technology, that is in information technology, we expect to come across words such as computer, laptop, CPU, monitor, software, hardware, hard copy, hard disk, and so on. Again, in school, the words used by teachers, students, and others at school include chalk, ruler, blackboard, senior teacher, deputy principal, dean of studies, and so on. We have very many examples. So again, under the field of law, there are technical terms that are used by lawyers and in the courts of law. So some of these words include adult probation, affidavit, alimony, amicus curiae, annulment, appeal, appellant, appealee, arrest, plaintiff, defendant, dismissal, oath, revocation, hearing, learned friend, etc., etc. So those are just some of the fields, not all, we have just listed to help us, understand what we mean by register in social linguistics. Dear students, that marks the end of the session. Thank you for watching till the end. Bye.